I was building computers when I was 10 years old.
After years of editing videos, gaming and working from the same machine, it was finally time for an upgrade. The problem? Building a PC in 2026 isn't cheap anymore. Especially when memory and storage cost what they do today. So every single component in this build had to earn its place. Now let's see if I made the right choices.
Before we start building, I want to explain something. This isn't a pure gaming PC. And it's not a workstation either. It's both. I edit videos, I create content, but I like to game from time to time. So this machine needs to do everything well. And that completely changed how I selected the parts.
Normally when people think of expensive PC components, they think about the graphics card. And yes, the graphics card wasn't exactly cheap. But honestly, the memory surprised me more. And storage wasn't much better. I actually bought a tray processor. More on that later.
And that's why this build became all about value. Not overkill, not cheap, value. If something doesn't improve performance, I'm happy to save some money.
A new PC is like a blank canvas. So let's install some things on our motherboard. And this is way easier when it's not built in the PC yet.
So yeah, let's start with the processor.
This is the Ryzen 7 9700X. Yeah, now I know people will immediately say, why didn't you buy an X3D chip? Simple. This machine is built for editing and productivity first. Gaming matters, but editing matters more. And for my use case, spending extra money on an X3D processor simply didn't make enough sense. I'd rather invest the budget elsewhere. I also bought the tray version. No fancy retail box, no marketing, just the processor. If something doesn't improve performance, I'm happy to save some money.
Next up, the memory. And this was one of the hardest things to justify.
Because memory prices in 2026 are absolutely insane. Still, editing large projects requires memory. This is one area where spending less would have hurt the experience every single day. Now let's start turning parts into a computer. The motherboard goes first. Slowly, carefully, and without dropping anything expensive, of course. And yes, it was the same story with storage. I spent hours moving video files around, rendering projects, managing footage. Fast storage just saves time. And time is the one thing I cannot buy back. Make sure you have the right heatsink, because you don't want to melt one of these expensive bad boys.
And if you enjoy projects where we explain the reasoning behind the decision, please subscribe. Now let's finish this machine.
But before we continue this build, I want to ask you for a favor. The past year, HobbyJohnDo has been growing and growing. And in that year, we've been repairing, fixing, building and crafting. And I need your support, so please subscribe to the channel. I could use your support. Thank you so much. Now let's get back to the build. I cannot stress enough, have some zip ties around. Cable management is what makes the difference in the future. And now we install the thing that's gonna feed this entire monster. Because if this thing doesn't do its job, none of the expensive stuff gets to have any fun. Yeah, I know it's not the most exciting looking component in the build. But this little black box is basically the heart of the operation. So I'm gonna give it the respect it deserves. And I'm gonna make absolutely sure every connector is fully seated. Because with PC building, I think that's connected is not troubleshooting strategy. Power supply installed. Video editing can keep a CPU busy for hours. Which means cooling matters. A lot. This isn't about chasing benchmark records. It's about keeping performance consistent during long workloads. You need to select the right bracket, so you need to check if you have Intel or AMD. Oh, and whatever you do, don't touch the heatsink paste. Trust me, it's really important.
If you would build a PC today, what part would be hardest for you to justify buying with today's prices? Let me know in the comments, please.
Hey, it's time to spend some time with my fans. So the placement of these fans determines the direction of the airflow. Hot air out or cooler air back in. Yeah, just have some patience. The GPU's up next. But there's one massive thing people forget when they're building a PC.
Now for the most visible component in this build. I wanted the point where performance and price made sense.
The RTX 5070.
That graphics card wasn't exactly cheap.
And yes, I chose the 5070 and not the Ti version. Because for my editing workload, the extra cost simply wasn't justified. And that was exactly the point. This machine is going to spend most of its life editing videos, rendering projects, managing footage And yes, playing games too. But what makes me the happiest is knowing that every component was chosen for a reason. Not because it was the most expensive option, because it was the right option.
And if you enjoy DIY projects, repairs, upgrades and practical builds like this, please subscribe and I'll see you in the next project.